Hello and welcome to Sobirovs live show on Wednesday. Every Wednesday we go live at 10:30 a.m. Toronto time and we discuss an interesting topic related to Canadian business immigration. My name is Rahmat Sobirov. I'm the managing lawyer of the firm and I'm here to tell you more about Canadian citizenship today. It's been a while. I was on a personal leave for almost 3 weeks and I'm glad to be back with you. And I hope this session you will find it very useful. Today's session is about a very interesting topic. The topic is: Can you really buy Canadian citizenship in 2023? I just put a very subjectively 2023 or 2024, doesn't matter. But the main question is: Can you really buy Canadian citizenship in fact? So the question is a bit provocative. I understand, and you may ask why we named the show, today's show, in this way. There are several reasons. One is it's a controversial topic. Some people say yes, you can buy. Some people say no, you cannot buy. It's provocative, as I said, and the most important thing is that this is how people search on Google. Many people search on Google in the following way: can I buy Canadian passport? Or can I buy Canadian citizenship? Because there's a notion, apparently, it's an incorrect notion, that Canadian passports can be bought. Okay, this is incorrect, and today's main objective is to clean that dirty information online that you can find on many different sources. And this is the topic that we will discuss today. So I apologize that we named in the following way: can you really buy Canadian citizenship? But this is how people apparently search. It's according to Google data, and we will go with Google data in order to attract your attention so that you can come and watch this video and clean all the dirty information, incorrect information that you may have in your mind. And in today's session, I will answer your live questions, so get ready with your questions. And I also have some questions for you, okay? So let's get started. Today, it's as usual, there will be like 15 to 20 minutes of my presentation, and then I will get to your questions. The way I get to your questions is the following way: you post your questions in whatever you're joining us from. Maybe it's YouTube, maybe it's LinkedIn or Facebook, Twitter, doesn't matter. You type your question and I bring that question in the following manner. So I bring it up and I try to answer your question, okay? So whatever you hear in this live sessions on Wednesday Live by Sobirovs Law Firm should not be considered legal advice. It's only for general information purposes only, okay? So only general information. I will refer you to certain locations, to certain links, and whenever we have relevant links, we put those links underneath this video. All right, today's topic, for those who just joined, is how to buy. Can you really buy Canadian citizenship in 2023? We have produced interesting guidelines and many other publications. The recent publication is this publication: How to Buy Canadian Citizenship in 2022, 2023, a complete guide with key answers. As I mentioned, the question is purposefully framed in that way because we will delve into the question and you will soon realize that it's impossible to buy Canadian citizenship. Okay. In basically, a short answer to the question is this: no, you cannot buy Canadian citizenship under current immigration programs in Canada. However, you may be eligible for citizenship after you get a Canadian permanent residency and you live in Canada for a certain amount of time. So there are business immigration programs, and we will only discuss business immigration in our live shows. There are certain business immigration programs that they could help you come to Canada on work permit, then allow you to become eligible and ready for permanent residency. And the third stage is once you lived enough time in Canada, then you become eligible for citizenship. Okay? In a nutshell, essentially business immigration programs, investment immigration program, or entrepreneur immigration programs require you to do three things to become Canadian. One is to operate your business in Canada under a work permit. Work permits can vary from program to program. It can be for 1 year, for 2 years, for 3 years. Gain permanent residency within 1 or 2 years after running your Canadian business successfully. Failed businesses don't really count. Become eligible for Canadian citizenship after being a permanent resident and residing in Canada for at least 3 years. Those 3 years are calculated differently based on your status. Some time that you spend on a work permit can be credited towards those 3 years. Up to 1 year of time can be credited. So literally, it can be a very straightforward scenario. You come to Canada on a work permit, you run your business for, let's say, 2 years. Those 2 years you were on a work permit. Then you become permanent resident. And in addition, you should live for 3 years as a permanent resident to become eligible for Canadian citizenship. As you can see, it's not like the other countries. There are many countries in the world, and you tell me if you know those countries too. I know some of them, where you can either buy residency by just giving the money, or sometimes even buy their passports. I know Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, those countries, they sell, literally, it's very, in a very simplistic term, they give you passports in exchange of money, right? There are many countries in the world. Canada is not one of them. Canadian citizenship, the concept of buying citizenship, especially the Canadian one, is very common apparently around the globe, around our international audience. Many people, they send me that question straightforward. They say, can I buy Canadian citizenship? I've been coming across this question many times, so this is the purpose. That's why I decided to do this live today. The concept is very common. It's a misconception, actually. It's a misunderstanding of the system. And many are referring to this question when I talk to them about Canadian business immigration. They probably understand when the money is involved in business immigration, when there's an effort involved in business immigration, they say, oh, am I buying Canadian passport? That's in itself, it's a misconception. So there are certain false and truth about Canadian citizenship. Let's delve into those. There's a false understanding that you get citizenship as soon as you pay for it. No, not a case in Canada. And it's a one-time fee. No, false. There's no other requirement other than payment. No, that's false again, and we will address this false misconception later on. The truth is that you don't get citizenship right away. There's a process, there's a time frame. As I said, whether you come on a work permit or as a permanent resident, depending on the program you apply, there's a certain things you need to do in Canada to become a Canadian citizen. Okay? When you look around the world, certain island countries, certain tax havens around the world, certain countries, they give you very easy access to their citizenship. This is not the case in Canada. And each business immigration program that I will mention in my presentation today requires certain things. There's a set requirements that you have to follow, otherwise you cannot achieve what you're trying to achieve. Okay? Let me double check, just to remind you that I will end my presentation in about 15 minutes, and then I will get to your questions with pleasure. Please type your questions, and I'm very curious where you're joining us from, which country you're from. And one question I've written down my questions today, is do you agree with the concept that citizenship should be bought? Do you agree? Why? Do you disagree? Why? So let's make it interactive. Please answer whenever you have time. Do you agree with the concept that citizenship should be bought? Any citizenship, maybe Canadian citizenship too. Okay? Now, let's go into what are the alternatives. If now we have established that Canadian citizenship cannot be bought, what are the alternatives to become a Canadian citizen? Okay? And by the way, you can always learn about immigration options by using our free instant assessment tool. It's very easy. It's on the website. It's free. You don't have to give us your email. You don't have to give us your phone number or even name. It's a free tool. People use it. Lawyers use it. Immigration consultants use this tool. It's for your own benefit. And also consider booking 1-hour consultation, a strategy meeting with us, with our lawyers, to know exactly what are available options for you based on your personal goals you want to achieve through immigration. Okay? So let's come to alternatives to buying Canadian citizenship. Business programs, and we specialize in those programs, business immigration programs. As you may know, now know, there's no outright way to buy citizenship. You must be then you may be interested in alternatives. Now, these are very wide range of alternatives. These are very high level, right? Within each category, there's subcategory and so on. So one of the most popular ways to come to Canada on a work permit, starting your journey to become a Canadian citizen, is intra-company transfer. This program requires you to expand your existing business to Canada, okay, and run it in Canada, while maintaining both businesses active, your home home country business and your Canadian business. C11 entrepreneur visa, very popular among foreign entrepreneurs. This requires you to invest in an existing Canadian business or start a new one. And you can click to know the details about the program. Startup visa program, one of the most popular one and one of the most discussed programs, because apparently around the world, it's believed that startup visa is the only visa where you can get permanent residence by investing just the money. Again, misconception. Again, there's much to it. It's not that simple. But we've created detailed guidelines you can read. Under this program, Startup Visa program, you are required to have an innovative startup idea, company that is backed up by Canadian investors. Okay, if that's the scenario and you are successful in Startup Visa, the ultimate result of Startup Visa program is permanent residence. That's a very big first step towards Canadian passport, Canadian citizenship. Okay, the other category of programs that are very popular are what we refer to as provincial nominee programs, and within those, entrepreneur provincial nominee programs. Okay, this program requires you to commit to investing and operating a business in a certain one of Canadian provinces, and there's a performance, then nomination by the province for you to become a permanent resident. And Quebec citizenship program, many people still talk about this. This program has been paused and probably, my personal view, will never be revived. It was suspended in 2019 until 2023, and the deadline, the reviving deadline, is being extended many times. So it's highly unlikely that this program will restart. This program used to be what we call residency by investment. Quebec investment program was just, you would give money and you would give Canada will probably award you your after due diligence and all application process would award you with residence, permanent residence, which will ultimately lead you to Canadian citizenship. This was, I would call it a shortcut, but no longer available. Okay, there are even certain colleagues around the world, immigration lawyers, still talk about this program. I think it's time to stop talking about Quebec investment program. It's not there, and probably it will not come back, looking at where we are at the moment. Okay? Again, a very provocative subject here, minimum requirements for buying Canadian citizenship. Again, it's a word play. No, you cannot buy Canadian citizenship, but what are the minimum requirements for business immigration? The requirements will largely depend on which investment immigration program you will choose, because as you remember, you cannot buy citizenship. In general, you should satisfy the following requirements. First, invest in an existing business or start a new one in Canada. Satisfy work permit requirements for your immigration program. Operate your Canadian business and, quote, parenthesis here, successfully in Canada. Apply for Canadian permanent residence when you become eligible, and then apply for Canadian citizenship when you become eligible. So these are the steps, these are the minimum requirements. And monetary requirements, we address this in FAQs down here. It would be best if you remember that each program is developed to stimulate the growth of Canadian economy. So business immigration program, first and foremost, is for Canada's benefit. It's an opportunity for you, but it's created to benefit Canada, okay? So for this reason, your immigration application will vary dramatically depending on your chosen path, chosen immigration and investment program. For example, some programs may require you to clearly and in-depth outline the significant benefit of your business that the business will bring to Canada, while other immigration programs will focus on your existing foreign operations. So yes, high level, business immigration is very attractive to entrepreneurs, and we are talking about entrepreneurs because usually when people search, how can I buy a Canadian passport online, the most categories of people that search are the high net worth individuals and business owners who would like to who would like to have an alternative passport in their pockets. Yes, it's possible, but not through just buying the passport, okay? There's a process, as I said, and I repeat myself several times. The process is long-term, and planning should be done accordingly. It's a strategic move. It's not just a simple investment. There's a process to it, okay? Now, there are many questions that come to us. For example, how much does it cost to buy a Canadian citizenship? Again, if you want to purchase Canadian citizenship, it will cost you between at least this much. But again, I'm repeating myself, Canadian citizenship cannot be bought. You need to do certain things to become eligible to become Canadian citizen. You must remember that you're not actually buying citizenship. Instead, you are investing in expanding your foreign business or purchasing a business in Canada or starting a new business in Canada. For this reason, you must consider additional costs you may incur while operating your business in Canada. At the end of the day, the success of your business immigration relies largely on the success of your business, okay? Focus on the business. I tell all my clients many times, focus on your business, genuinely run the business. Immigration will become naturally, and as long as you follow the process, okay? Although operating your business on a work permit for a year will probably make you eligible for permanent residency, but failing a business could put your permanent resident status at risk. Now, another most common question is immigrating to Canada through business immigration, business ownership or business immigration is for you? Because many people ask, oh, do I have to have business experience, and I have never owned a business, and so on. Here's my answer to that is business immigration is not for everyone, that's for sure. And contrary to popular belief, it is not only for people who are experienced in owning and running the business. It's not only for them. You can even if you didn't own a business before, you can start your first attempt in Canada. Whether you are an experienced business owner or a highly skilled individual that has never owned a business, you could be eligible for business immigration to Canada and gain citizenship through investment and following the process. Here are some examples. Senior managers who And here I assume they never owned a business. Senior managers with proven business management and development skills that want to start a new business in Canada or a franchise in Canada. And we have linked to franchise ownership and immigration, so feel free to go in and read it for yourself. Experienced entrepreneurs, these are people who used to own business and they ran business before, with an established foreign company that want to open a subsidiary or a branch in Canada or a related company in Canada. High net worth individuals that want to invest in an existing business and immigrate. Startup founders, as I mentioned before, who have great idea, an established foreign company or a great innovative idea that want to continue to scaling that business, that startup in Canada. And many other people who are unsure whether they can do business immigration or not should consider using instant assessment form, or they should schedule 1 hour meeting with our senior business immigration lawyer. And I'm sure you will find that meeting very useful. If you find that meeting is not useful, and also if we decide that we cannot help you, the fee that we charge for the meeting will be reimbursed. So there's no risk for you. If we take you as our client after the meeting, we will apply that fee to your legal fees in the future. So there's no risk for you. Take it easy. We are not here to take your money and not give you the value. We will give you the value. Okay? What's the best business immigration program? Another very commonly asked question is, many people say, hello Rahmat, what's the best business immigration program? And I say, I don't know. I don't know because I don't know you, your objectives, your qualifications, your past, your previous experiences and so on. I need to know you, and my team needs to know you in order to select the most suitable business immigration strategy for you and follow that. There's no one size fits all, and it depends on each individual entrepreneur. Benefits. Okay, now my second question comes in. I've identified some benefits of Canadian citizenship. How about you? Here's my question. What interests you, what attracts you to become Canadian citizen? Why you are interested in Canadian citizenship? So that's my question to you. Please type in your answer. Here's my 3 main benefits that I think people are motivated by. One is, for some people, becoming a Canadian is one of the most sought after goals in their lives. I've seen many people that come through our doors or connect to us. They say, I want to be Canadian. And I'm very happy to hear that. And I want you to become Canadian, proud Canadian in the near future. So, however, I can differentiate 3 groups of benefits, that maybe 4, but I've written down 3. Family goals. Many people want to raise their family and allow them to live in a safe environment and build better life in Canada. That's family goals. And they are interested with providing their family with high level of medical care in their lives and education for their kids. So Canada has one of the best universities and colleges of the world, and free healthcare and excellent education are some of the motivators of those who want to become Canadian. Second, for business owners, business freedom. It's easy to do business in Canada. There's not much bureaucracy, as you can see in many other countries. The Doing Business report by international organizations has ranked Canada at one of the top countries to do business. There are many grants and incentives that you can select to do business, and it's relatively easy to run and grow your business. And most importantly, I will switch to this market opportunities. Most importantly, you are in a very stable economy with a very stable currency, politically speaking, and in terms of safety and environmental disasters and so on. Plus to that, you are very close to the biggest economy in the world, the US economy, where you can sell your goods and services easily. Canada and the US have one of the best free trade agreements in the world. It's called CUSMA, Canada, US, Mexico agreement. So you're open automatically to, of course, Canadian market of 37, 38 million, and then 300 plus million big market in the US, and even plus to that Mexican market through this free trade agreements. There are, I think, 15 free trade agreements with different countries and groups of countries and Canada. So becoming a Canadian and growing your business in Canada makes you eligible to benefit from these free trade agreements, okay? And there is also export support for Canadian goods, okay? There's an organization called Export Development Canada, and that organization helps you to to move your goods and services to these free trade agreement countries. And the number 4, which I didn't mention here, is freedom of traveling. With my Canadian passport, I can travel to, I think, 175 countries. I recently traveled to a country in Central Asia, and it was visa free for Canadians. Okay, you just go and including United Kingdom, including European Union, including many developed countries in the world, the United States, and so on. So freedom of travel is another motivator that people think when they're trying to become Canadian citizens. So again, I will repeat my question: why you are interested in Canadian citizenship? That's my second question. If you are available, please answer this question. I'm very curious why you are interested to become Canadian citizen. And the last question: do you know any other country that offers citizenship just for investment? So what countries have citizenship by investment program? Do you know those? I know Turkey has a program. Turkey has a program like that. And my home country, Uzbekistan, announced recently citizenship by investment program. I think they require you to invest $1 million to become the citizen of Uzbekistan. So tell me, what are your interests? And now I will go to your questions. It's a pleasure to take your questions right away. So let's delve into those questions. Okay. Those who are greeting me, hello to you too. Hello, greetings from Toronto. Now, LinkedIn user, I don't know the name. What additional services Sobirovs law firm can provide or direct to good service providers for new immigrant business owners and entrepreneurs? Please share as many Sobirovs audience might be interested to learn. Okay. One is we have a lot of partners locally, like in Canada and internationally, who help us to help you. For example, just a scenario. For example, if you have enough finances and you want to run a startup company and ultimately apply for startup visa, you need to develop your startup idea. It's not that easy saying, oh, I have an innovative idea, here's my application for startup visa. That's a dangerous thing to do. You need to develop, you need to do market research, you need to test your product in Canada, and basically bringing your startup idea to the necessary level so that it can be invested, okay? That journey takes some effort and finances. So we have partners that will develop your startup idea, will criticize it, will change it if necessary, and help you with market research and testing in Canada. Only after that, when your startup idea is ready, we then take it over and apply for startup visa. So even before applying for startup visa, there is a process and things you need to be doing to make your idea ripe enough, ready enough to be invested, to be presented to VC, venture capital firms, angel investors, and incubators. So even before that, there are service providers and our partners who help you with that, okay? This is one aspect. Second aspect is once you are settled, we bring you on a work permit to Canada through business immigration programs. You need a very solid tax advice, taxation is big, and we have partners who are tax advisors and tax lawyers. We refer them to you. We refer you to them, sorry. We refer them as our partners because they help our clients to navigate very complex taxation system of Canada. And I'm not a tax lawyer, so I refer you to those tax professionals. And many other marketing professionals. We have partners with marketing because Canadian market is specific and peculiar. Maybe you have never dealt with North American market and customers, so marketing and so on. So many other auxiliary services that we can provide ourselves, or we can refer you to the service providers for you to benefit from their services. And also we sit and discuss with our clients, what other needs do you have? How can we help you? Other than immigration, how can we help you? If you tell us those needs, we know a lot of people and a lot of organizations in Canada. We may be able to direct you to the right spot and where you can get quality services. That's a great question. Thank you very much. Okay. Suresh is asking the following question. Hi from Kuwait. Got my work permit under C11. How can I change location in my work permit? Well, C11 work permit is a restricted work permit, and it's connected to your company, that company that initiated this work permit. If you want to change your work permit location, I hope you don't mean the company. Are you switching to another company or just a locality? Then it's easy, as long as maybe your business location is changing. That's why you follow your business. You can, for example, you incorporated in Ontario, you got your C11 work permit for a company in Ontario. Now you want to do business in BC. Yeah, you just do extra provincial registration of your business, and your work permit follows that. And if it's just a business location, it's easy. But if you want to change the corporation, switch from one company to another, you need to reinitiate that process that you went through again. Okay, you got to do it again. Advisor for SME is saying, can I invest in existing profitable business in Canada? Short answer, yes, you can. In order to come to Canada to run that business that you will invest in, we suggest you become majority shareholder. Okay. Hi, I'm trying to arrange a strategy call with you, I think with our firm. The timing on the calendar is our local time or Toronto time? The timing on the calendar is your local time, based on, because it's not Toronto time, it's your local time wherever you're located, and the link recognizes your location and gives you your local time. Okay, thank you. S. Rao is no way should it be bought. Very good. I agree with you, but some people think that Canada needs a lot of population, new people. Canada needs investment. So why don't we offer at least residency, not citizenship, at least residency through investment? There's an argument to be made, but I agree with you. No way should it be bought or available for purchase, because criminals, gangsters, mafia, corrupt politicians, etc. will take advantage of it. Yes, that's a part of the due diligence. Whatever immigration program, whether it's a residency by investment, citizenship by investment, or typical work permit application, all due diligence, all elements of due diligence must be done very strictly without any rushing. So yes, there's a risk, but that risk is overcome by doing due diligence. Thank you, Esrao, for your opinion. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Is there any age bar? For federal business immigration programs, there are no age bars. There are certain provincial entrepreneur immigration programs. They have age limits provincially, but federally there's no age limit. It must be, the age is not the question. The genuineness of business, capacity to run that business, and financial ability to run that business is the main focus of the analysis. All right. Hi, Pagal. How are you? Thank you for asking. Thank you. Can you help me? I need work visa. Well, we specialize in business immigration and investor immigration. Pagal, I hope you understand. We don't provide job finding services or, as you mentioned here, work visas. Our specialty is to help foreign entrepreneurs or investors to do business in Canada and relocate to Canada. I hope I understood your question correctly. And when you give us your WhatsApp number, there's no way we can connect with you through WhatsApp. The best means of communication is to go to our website. First, when you go to our website, please read the material that we created for you, how we do it, about us, what we do, our services, and so on. And there's also contact form here, and our email is provided. And the best way is to contact through this form on the right-hand side. Fill up the form and contact us. And our team will get back to you as soon as possible. Okay? Thank you very much. Now, here we go. Another question is, let me bring it under this screen. Asrao is saying, I've just started working with a licensed Canadian immigration consultant. Are you open to partnering with them regarding my business investment application? The way it works is we take full responsibility on the file. As such, we want to take the file fully to us. Because when you do co-counseling, there's a intermingling of who's responsible for what and so on. We don't do that because we want ourselves to be fully responsible and accountable in front of you, in front of the client, on your immigration file. And there are many offers by many immigration consultants to co-counsel, to do co-counseling. Unfortunately, we have to say no because of our law firm's policy. We want to be fully accountable on our client's file. Okay? Thank you. Same company, okay, Suresh is clarifying his question. Same company but incorporated in BC and now in Alberta. I don't think there's any issue if you were incorporated in BC and then you did extra provincial registration in Alberta. Your work permit is attached to that company. As long as you follow that company, you're good to go, okay? Yes, companies may change location, registered office or incorporation place. It's okay. Do you assist your client to identify the profitable Canadian business to buy or invest in from preferred sectors and industries? Yes, we do that kind of service. It's called basically business finding service. We find through business brokers who are like basically real estate brokers but on the business side. They help us to identify the businesses based on your needs. And once you are given several options, let's say 4 options, from those 4 options, you also will help us identify which one you prefer. And we do due diligence and checking. Working with business brokers covers most of that job, but we also check from the immigration perspective. Financially, you can check yourself. There will be disclosure of financial documents of the business. You look through the numbers, and if you're happy with the numbers and what you see. From the immigration side, we do our due diligence and we give our opinion whether this is a good business for profit making and also for immigration purposes. Okay, profit making, their accountants and financial advisors give that opinion. We give our opinion regarding whether it's suitable for your immigration. So I don't want you to be in a situation where you got a business, you purchased the business, but that's not good for immigration. Okay, so you gotta cover two grounds. All right, I think that's it. And next week I will be covering some changes that have affected C11 entrepreneur visa, C11 work permit, significant benefit work permit. There are some changes that were recently announced by the Canadian government, and we will cover those changes. These are important changes. not very critical but important, and we will cover those changes next week. And also I want to highlight that for those who joined us for the first time today, our website sobirovs.com and our social media channels are, they are filled with useful information. There are videos, there are podcasts. Even we came up with our own podcast called Speaking of Canada podcast. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, on Google and Spotify. So go and check those podcasts. Each section here on our website is filled with information about different business immigration programs, different ways of buying a business, or provincial, federal programs, and so on. Also, we always publish success stories. So their latest success stories is from Vietnam, and we also publish very useful pieces which you can read and relate to. It's for your own benefit. So also, last announcement I will make is, please stay tuned, stay subscribed, and follow us on different social media channels, and frequently visit our website. We are planning to visit India in April of 2023. Okay? At the end of April, beginning of May, we will be in India, in several cities of India, and we want to meet with you, business owners, high net worth individuals, entrepreneurs of India, because we have a lot of clients from India, and it's a really good time to be visiting that beautiful country. I've never visited India before, but I've read a lot of its history, and I admire its culture and music and movies and so on. So next year in April and May, we will be Sobirovs Law Firm will be visiting India. We are planning that. I hope we will realize that plan. And stay tuned. We will update you with the latest information about that trip. And hopefully we will see you there in one of the beautiful cities of India. Okay? Thank you very much, and we will see you next week. It's been a pleasure to see you again. So stay tuned. Follow us on social media channel, and send us your questions and which other topics you want us to cover. Okay? You will be our inspiration. Your questions are our inspiration. So send us your questions and comments, and see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.